Hey, I'm Olivia,
And hey, I'm Dad.
and you're listening to Soarin' Around WDW. Happy Wednesday, flight crew. Today we are taking you on our pre-trip journey to Walt Disney World. I know we have had a lot of fun trip content lately, but don't worry. Next week we will be back with our Haunted Mansion Part 3 episode to give us some time to record the post-trip content and also to break it up a little bit. Dad is here with me today to talk through our trip and the portion of the trip that he will be joining us on, as well as his own plans for hotel and reservations. Dad, are you ready to be back in the magic with us and the crazy kids next week?
I am so ready. We had such a great time. We went to Epcot and now we're going to Hollywood Studios. Doreen and I are really looking forward to spending time with you and the kiddos. So it should be fun.
Yes, we are really looking forward to it too. We are recording this a week ahead of time from our trip. So, exactly 1 week from now, we'll be on an airplane from North Carolina to Orlando. We'll be in the air. So, definitely looking forward to it and counting down the days, as are the kids. So, on Wednesday, March 4th, we are going to be taking off from RDU to MCO. We land around 8 o'clock at night. And we're bringing our double bob stroller as well as four carry-on size bags with three, maybe four backpacks and an extra bag packed inside of the carry-ons that we usually use for our stroller bag. So we also use this to bring extra things back sometimes. And then this is what I refer to a lot as our Disney bag. If you watched my YouTube pack and prep with me, I showed it on there, but it's a nice sturdy bag we got from the Disney store a while ago on one of Eileen's birthdays, and it's worked really great as like our throw everything in it that goes to Disney with us bag. We do have a black lane car reserved to take us to our hotel, and this is our first time trying this with the kids. Usually we either are renting a car or Ubering, but honestly, to us, it's very much worth it to not have to drag car seats through the airport and store them in the hotel room. Uber, you have to bring your own car seats and you can reserve a car with car seats, but the times that we've done it, it's been questionable whether the car seats were clean or not and whether they were appropriate for the kids. So just, really didn't want to do that again. We are staying over at Art of Animation for the very first time. We have stayed at Pop Century. Last year, Eiley and I stayed there and we explored the Art of Animation outside a lot, but we have not been inside or into their food court or lobby area either. First time as well for our girls to be sharing a bed. So this will be extremely interesting. Blake has always either been in a pack and play, in a crib, or on like a blow up mattress on the ground. And we did that last year in California, but she's kind of outgrowing the blow up mattress that we have for like the toddler bed. So we're going to give this a try. I have no idea how this is going to go. It either could go great or it could go terrible. And we might end up each with one of the girls in a bed or somebody on the ground on a blanket bed. We will see how this goes. But I did purchase some blow up dividers for the bed that are almost like pool noodle in length and a little bit, maybe two pool noodles together in width, one to go on each end of the bed as kind of bumpers and one to go between them. And that was a tip I learned from somebody on YouTube called Pixie Dusted Mom. Her name is Ashley, and she does this with her girls who are similar age to keep them from kicking each other and touching each other all night long, but they're still in the same bed space. And I know Disney does provide bed rails or bed bumpers, but they're not guaranteed. So we're going to bring our own just in case. We'll see how all of this goes. On Thursday, March 5th, this is funny. This is our rest day. We usually do park, rest day, park, or like do the rest day in the middle, but it just worked out this way because all of our family will be joining us at different points in this trip. And this is a work day and we get in late the night before. And so we thought instead of rushing to a park this day, we're just going to hang out at the hotel. It's has an awesome pool. It's got a playground. We can go on the Skyliner. And we do have a reservation at Topolino's or Topolino's. I don't ever know how to say that. Terrace for breakfast at 11:55 a.m. That was our original reservation time. This is the latest time that you can have for breakfast. And I really wanted to scoot that up potentially. And I was talking to our travel agent, Katie. Her handle is 2+3 travelers on Instagram to kind of help me look out for a little bit of an earlier time. The problem is we didn't want it too early that we can't take the Skyliner because we will not have a car. and we don't want to have to fight the crowds who are taking the Skyliner to rope drop. So, like 9 a.m. or later, ideally. And luckily today, this morning, one popped up for 10:55. So Katie took it and texted me and said, "Does this work or do you want me to look for earlier?" And I said, "No, that'll be perfect. It'll give us time to get up in the morning, eat a light breakfast or snack in the room, let the girls go run around on the playground for a little bit, and then we'll hop on the Skyliner and go over to the Riviera Resort where this character breakfast is." And it'll allow us to also skip that Skyliner chaos in the morning, as well as giving us some more time on the back end to enjoy the pool once it's a little bit warmer outside if the weather is good. And so far, knock on all the wood, the weather looks good for this day and the next day when we're at the park. And that's about as far in advance as we can see. That night, we will head to Disney Springs for our Homecomin reservation at 6 o'clock. We have never eaten here. We have heard awesome things. It's the first time for us for both of these reservations. So I'm sure we're going to have a lot to say. Of course, while we're over in Disney Springs, we're going to go to World of Disney. But yeah, Dad, you said the weather right there, right now, it's pretty cold there, right?
Yeah, it's been chilly. January and February in Florida, you can get some cold weather,
Yeah.
but I've been watching the forecast and our day looks pretty good. I think the high is like 80 degrees and
Yeah.
the low was like in the mid 60s. And there's just a 28% chance of rain. That's hit or miss. You might get a little sprinkle here and there. It might not rain at all. Who knows? But so our weather looks really good right now.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. That sounds like the perfect temperatures on both ends and not too chilly at night, but still not blazing hot in the daytime. Did it rain last time we went to Epcot? I can't remember now if it rained or it was colder because it was earlier in February, but I couldn't remember
Yeah,
if it rained.
yeah, it was colder. I think we got a little rain when we first got there, if I remember right. But then it's a real overcast, kind of cloudy day. I think it was probably like in the low 60s most of the day. I remember wearing a jacket and long pants. So when I wear a jacket and
Yeah.
long pants, it's a little cooler. So
Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's what I could. Oh, yeah. And I think it did maybe at the very end of the night ended up storming because you guys were going to stay for the fireworks show. And then I think it just like downpoured at Epcot and when you ended up leaving, we were going to leave to go back for bed and maybe it started pouring. I feel like I remember that, but we were all kind of eating dinner and then we were kind of going our separate ways. And then you had said something like, we're going to go see fireworks. And then I think you texted me saying like the sky opened up and it was like, crazy, but it didn't really rain. Yeah, during the day while we were there, we didn't have to like, run for cover during the day, which is the goal for sure.
right, right. Mhm.
So on Friday, March 6th, this is our Hollywood Studios day with Dad. So I'm really looking forward to this one. So tell us a little bit about first, before we get into our park day, where you guys are staying, how you booked your place to stay, kind of the average cost for the night using that, and how are you getting to Disney from where you're coming from?
Well, we're coming from Bradenton, Florida, which is basically just south of Tampa by about an hour, right up I-75, and then we jump on I-4 and come over. So uh, we a lot of times in the last, I don't know, maybe 8 years, we've stayed at Fort Wilderness with our motorhome, or we've had a variety of different styles of motorhomes in the past 4 years. But that's one way we just did it because we take the dogs with us, and it just worked out really well. Our granddaughter with us. But this time we're just going to drive over, do it like most people do in the area. And we are staying at the Wyndham Garden Lake Buena Vista. Say that fast 3 times. Uh, we are basically just on the outskirts of Disney Springs, uh, on the Hotel Row. I'm not sure what the name of the street is. Liv, do you know the name of the street that they?
I feel like it's
Uh,
actually like Hotel Way. Let me look.
it's something like that, a resort way or something like that, because there's
Yeah.
all those hotels that have been there forever. I know they've been all upgraded over the years, but and we that worked out really well for us. We were going to try and stay. This is still considered on property. That
Hmm.
I talked to Olivia about this, and right, Liv, you said, "Oh, you're still considered on property." We were going to stay in maybe one of the nicer hotels, but for the little time that we're going to spending there, we're going to get back really late. Probably not get into the hotel till maybe 11:30 or whatever. So we decided, why spend the big bucks when you're really not there to enjoy the hotel? So And our price for the hotel I thought was really good. We got it for $210
Yeah,
for a night.
okay.
That's pretty good. And it's a nice hotel. This is not some, Red Roof Inn, 2-star hotel that we're staying at. It's a nice
Yeah.
place. Um, we we always book a big old king bed. We like that. And we got it on booking.com. I don't know how many people use booking.com, but that's where sometimes we use Expedia. There's a variety of different ways to book a hotel at Disney.
And you guys have done Hotwire before even too, right?
We used Hotwire back in the day. Is Hotwire still a thing? I've never even
It
looked to see.
is.
It is. It's still around. Okay, we did that years ago. That was always good, but you could never pinpoint exact hotel that you wanted. They
Yeah.
just went out and said, "Well, you're going to be in this area, and it's a 4-star hotel," which is great. But in this situation, I wanted to know exactly where we are going to be because I don't want to be driving, around, uh, Western Orlando at 11 o'clock at night. That's not any fun. So we didn't
Yeah.
want to do that.
Might as well drive home if you're driving somewhere in Orlando too. It depends.
Absolutely. And we do, it's about a 2-hour drive home, maybe a little less. But we thought, let's not do that. It's going to be late after Fantasmic. So let's just get a place for the night and, which will work out great for us. So yeah, that's kind of what we got going on.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I looked it up. So the name of the road is Hotel Plaza Boulevard. So we are
Okay.
close.
Okay.
And it is like literally right. You could walk to Disney Springs. It's
Yes.
like a stone's
Yes.
throw away. I believe I'm gonna have to look this up. I'm pretty sure Maddie and I stayed at this Wyndham back in the day when we were still in college, or maybe I was in college, he was in high school. His senior year for AAU, mom took us over there for his tournament, and his friend Devonte came with us. It's very, very close to downtown Disney. And we might have even stayed here for Steph's bachelorette, which I'm trying to remember. We stayed very close to Disney Springs. So yeah,
Oh,
that's a
okay.
good story. Very good, very close. So that's and a good price. So that's all good things. Okay,
Yes.
cool. So we do, because of where this hotel is, there are hotels that qualify for extra magic hours, even though they aren't a Walt Disney World resort. And this is one of them. So if you're staying in the Disney Springs area and you're not staying on property, technically like Disney World Resort property, but you are on Disney grounds like this, then you most likely will qualify for extra magic hours. So look into it. But this hotel does. You still have to book your lightning lanes 3 days out instead of the 7 if you're staying like at one of the Disney resorts. But you do get to go for extra magic hours. So we found that out. So I texted dad and said, "Oh, you actually get to get in with us the same time." So we're gonna see if that works out driving. I know y'all have a bit of a drive, so we'll see if that happens. But that is the idea is that you can if you stay there. And actually, Regan had told me that it would qualify for the day that night of and the next morning. So if you were going to the parks the next day before you drove home, it would qualify for extra magic hours that day as well, which is kind of interesting. So your check-in day and your check-out day, even if you're only staying one night. So something for people who are looking at off-property things to consider.
And when
We
we
are,
used to, I'm sorry, I don't
oh,
mean to
you go
cut
ahead.
you off.
Yeah,
What when we used to go when you were just a young gal, we had an hour extra magic
I
time,
know.
not 30 minutes. What's
Well,
30
that's why it
minutes?
shouldn't be
Come
called
on.
hour.
It was a whole hour. We used to go, remember, go early, and your
Oh
mom and
yeah.
Regan would sleep in, and we go, okay, let's hit the bakery typically it was the Magic Kingdom. I think we always went early to.
Oh
And
yes.
yeah, we get something yummy to eat and then have time to go on probably 2 or 3 attractions before anybody even got in the park that was not a hotel guest. So yeah,
Yeah, definitely remember
good
that. I
memories.
think that's where the name is deceiving. And sometimes now they do have extended hours for park guests, but a lot of times those extended hours at currently are for deluxe only guests.
Oh,
So you're paying a pretty penny. But sometimes they do have things for regular Disney World resort guest. So yes, so we will get 30 minutes, not an entire hour for our extra magic half hour, we should call it. But I will get in line for the Skyliner at 6:30 in the morning. So plan to wake up around 6 this day, get ready, get in line for the Skyliner, and then Maddie will kind of help the kids get up and get going most likely. The Skyliner line can get pretty long. Last year when Eiley and I did this, we were close to the front around that time, but then it gets really busy really fast. So it doesn't usually start running until about an hour before Extra Magic Hour. So it will start turning on around 7:30, get us over to the park usually by 8, giving us enough time to get in line for security, go through security, and then wait at the turnstiles. This day we have purchased Lightning Lane Multipass as well. So the plan is kind of to meet up with Dad, rope drop, probably Slinky Dog, and that is because Blake is now finally tall enough to ride Slinky Dog. So that height requirement is 38 inches. She is 39 inches. So I have not measured her in a couple of weeks. I don't think she's going to quite be tall enough at the 40-inch mark to do things like Rise of the Resistance, but I'm crossing my fingers that maybe with shoes she'll be tall enough because I think she would absolutely love it. We do plan to purchase the Lightning Lane single pass for Rise. I did purchase it for us, and I'm going to get it for Dad and Doreen, along with their multi passes on Tuesday of next week, because that will be 3 days prior to our park day. I was able to purchase ours today because it's 7 days prior to our check-in, and I was able to do it for every day for us for the parks that we wanted it, which is a benefit of staying on property. So that is a nice perk, but I do have a plan in place to kind of work with Lightning Lane that I'll talk about it in a few minutes. But I don't want to do Rise of the Resistance without you because I've never gotten to do it with you, Dad, because I don't think we've been to Hollywood Studios together in over like 15 years, I think.
Yes, I know we took you and a girlfriend when you were probably, I'm trying to think, maybe ninth grade,
Yeah, something
somewhere in
like
there.
that.
Because I remember going to,
Sci-fi, I think.
yeah,
Mama
okay,
Melrose?
it was sci-fi because we had pictures, because Regan was with a friend too, I think.
I
I
think
think
so.
Regan was with a friend and you were with a friend and Doreen and I. So yeah, we went to sci-fi. That's right. Because there were six people in our little car and it was all
Mm-hmm.
us. It was our car. But yes, I remember going there. And then I think we went another time with you and Maddie. And that was the last time that we went, I think.
Yeah, I
So
think so too.
it's been a good 15, 14 years probably.
Yeah, yeah, probably. I know we've been to Magic Kingdom since then, and we've been to Epcot, obviously, with the kids. So it's been a long time since we've done Hollywood. So it's going to be super fun. So, what are your top priorities for this day? What are the things that you really would love to do while we are there?
Well, of course, Tower of Terror has to be right there on the top of the list
Oh,
for me.
yes.
Um, Toy Story Mania, that's something my wife and I really enjoy also. I always joke around. She always beats me points wise on that ride. And Buzz Lightyear, I beat her because I've got that memorized to the targets. I know things with Buzzers is changing, which will make it probably much more of an improved ride. But yeah, so Toy Story Mania, we love that. Of course, Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah.
Doreen is a big Star Wars fan, so we'll really enjoy that. Indiana Jones, hopefully we can slip in there, and
Oh,
hopefully the
yes.
boulder won't come and crush us.
Yeah.
Uh, Beauty and the Beast, I haven't seen that since Mikada was really small. But it's been a long time since I've seen that show. Probably she was probably maybe 3 years old the last time I saw that. Now she's 17, so that gives you some, uh, you know. We didn't go in there with
Yeah.
Michaela and Morgan when we were there a couple of years ago. They didn't want to go see that because they were no, these are
Oh,
teenagers. I know,
it's not
I know.
cool.
Of course, Slinky Dog, it sounds like fun. We did that last time we were there a few years ago, and possibly Star Tours. I'll go on that. Even Doreen said she'd go on that. She goes, if she gets starts getting sick, she just close her eyes. So
Yeah.
however that goes. But those are some of the ones that I thought one man's dream is always something I always enjoy going in. I haven't gone in there and looked at that in a long time. I love all the nostalgia memorabilia that's there. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's kind of the top of the list there.
Okay, great. Yeah. I know for me it's really everything except for Millennium Falcon and Star Tours, but I know Eiley would love to do Star Tours with you for sure, and Maddie likes that ride too. So I don't know. I don't think there's a height requirement, is there? So I think Blake could do it. I think, and that's almost always a walk on over there. The queue is awesome. I love that queue. My head can just not do the actual ride the whole time on the challenge this last couple weeks ago at Disneyland. I just closed my eyes the entire time. So I could do that as well. Just close my eyes and wish it away because it is not my friend with the motion. But yeah, we have a lot of cool stuff that we want to do. It's a great park. It's definitely a full day park. You can stay there open to close, which is kind of what we plan to do here. And so just wanted to touch on where we are at with our lightning lanes as of today. And then my plan is to try to purchase Dad and Doreen's on Tuesday and match them up as closely as I can to our times. And then I'm going to utilize a new app that I have heard about from the internet called Weight Magic. And this is Thrill Data is a website that has all kinds of information about average ride wait times, average lightning lane sellout times for Disneyland, Disney World, all kinds of other parks. And it's really, really handy and it's helpful to kind of know, okay, what has been selling out? What should we choose first? What are the average wait times for this time of the year? And so they have a new app that you can pay for, and it's very inexpensive, and they will modify lightning lanes for you so that if your party is booking all at once and you're like, I got a late Slinky Dog, but I want a morning one, they will look for you so that when things drop, it will automatically adjust your lightning lane. So I'm very excited to try this. I've heard really great things, and I think it will be very helpful in this kind of a situation where half of our party is staying off property and can't book until that 3 day out period. And we are staying on property to get things together as best as we can. So that is the goal. We'll see how it works. We'll let y'all know in the post-trip episode if it worked well or if it's a skip and don't purchase it. But yeah, so right as of right now, we have Tower of Terror Lightning Lane at about 10:30 in the morning. We have Toy Story Mania at 12:40 and a Slinky Dog Dash at 3:15 with the Rise of the Resistance single pass at 2:10. So they're kind of spread out a little bit. I literally mapped out the entire day today on my lunch break. I went on the Disney website and looked up every single showtime for all of the shows and kind of tried to pick and choose where things might fit. Again, this could totally change if Dad's lightning lanes change when I book them and we have to kind of adjust where we put things. But for now, we do have a pretty good layout that would allow us to rope drop Slinky Dog, get on Toy Story Mania after that, and hop on Alien Swirling Saucers, which does have a height requirement. And the last time Blake was at Hollywood Studios, she was too short. So I think she's going to want to go on that just because it's something that she can actually do over there. Then we'll head over to Tower of Terror with our lightning lane, hit up the 11 o'clock Beauty and the Beast show, and we're going to utilize the rider switch option. So Blake, obviously, even if she is 40 inches, will not be going on Tower of Terror. I don't think that would work out too well. She's pretty little. So we will rider swap at that point. So we'll have half the party do Tower of Terror, watch Beauty and the Beast, and then the other half of the party do Tower of Terror that didn't get to do it, you know, initially or whatever, which usually means that Eiley will get to ride twice, which is super fun for her. We want to keep in mind, for those of y'all that aren't familiar, there is a 119-minute grace period for the lightning lane. So even though it says 10:30 to 11:30, you really can still use that lightning lane until 1:29 p.m. So it's a good thing to know so that you aren't like, oh no, I'm going to miss it, or I can't go to Beauty and the Beast because we have to use this lightning lane. It's flexible. They don't necessarily advertise that, but it's been studied and it works. So just a heads up for y'all who are looking at it. I've heard a few people on different podcasts say like, well, I missed my lightning lane and I wasn't in that hour window. You didn't. At Disneyland, however, it's only a 15-minute grace period. So just a little bit of a difference and some insider info for those of y'all who did not know. So that 11 a.m. Beauty and the Beast show, then we're probably going to get some lunch or have some snacks. We'll decide kind of where and when, what everybody's hungry for. I definitely have a snack list of things that I want to try, which I'll get into here in a minute as well. And then head back to Toy Story Land to do our Toy Story Mania lightning lane, go to the 1 o'clock Indiana Jones show, head back into the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge area to do Rise of the Resistance. We'll have our Slinky Dog Dash lightning lane to do that a second time. And then at this point, go to the new Little Mermaid show, hopefully. We have not seen this, but the girls are both very into Ariel right now, which is perfect. Their outfits are Ariel for this day, too. Then shortly after that, kind of depending where we're at with time, we might have time to go do Star Tours and then head to our sci-fi reservation, which is at 5:05 p.m. I kind of allotted like an hour and 40 minutes for this. It might not take that long, but just kind of thinking that's about how long it takes. And then thinking that if we don't have a lightning lane for Mickey and Minnie's by that time, once we've used them, I'm going to be looking for lightning lanes, obviously. Maybe do standby for that. Again, another opportunity to maybe do star tours at this time, kind of whatever we're feeling like doing that we haven't already gotten done. And the villains show is at 7:50 p.m. That's the last show of the night. So hoping to squeeze that in there before we get a little snack or treat dessert of some kind over in that area and head to Fantasmic. So a very packed and full day. Again, this is all very tentative depending on where we can land with the other lightning lanes. But what do you think about that very strategic and laid out plan, Dad?
All I can say is you're clearly my daughter because I look at
Yeah.
that and go, you're a planner, I'm a planner. And I see that and I was like, that is super cool that you spent the time to do that. And most of the time when you do that, you understand how the park and Disney operates, it really pays off. So
Yeah, I think that's where definitely I feel like the planning is so worth it because if you go in with no plan, you can still have a good day, but you can get so much done if you have a plan. So I just feel
cool.
like exactly it's the way to go. And it's funny, this thing on Instagram today said, my love language is making a Disney itinerary that nobody asked for. And that's definitely how Maddie feels. He's like, we don't need this whole hour by hour plan. I'm like, yes, we do. And you're gonna have a great day. It will pay off. So yeah, it's funny. But that's kind of our tentative plan. There's a couple of snack things that I have on my list for this day that I would like to try to fit in, not all of them, but some of them. And instead of like sitting down for a lunch with everybody, whatever everybody chooses, I'm probably going to be snacking because I just feel like there's so many things I want to try. There is a like pog juice or jungle juice over at Cup of Enchantment. There's an Indiana Jones root beer float, which I thought sounded right up your alley, Dad. I was like, ooh, that sounds great. They're over in the Toy Story Land area. There are now Pizza Planet spring rolls, which are basically these like pizza and pepperoni mozzarella cheese stick rolled up into dough and deep fried, I believe. That sound delicious with marinara dipping sauce. There is a blood orange hard cider at Baseline Tap House that I think is gone now and it was replaced with this superfruit hard cider. So that sounds like it could be good. They have a killer soft pretzel there from what I've heard, which that like calls my name. I don't really love the Mickey soft pretzels. I think they're fine, but I've heard this pretzel is great. And there is a Jack Jack Nom Nom cookie, which is basically a big chocolate chip cookie warmed and sounds delicious. But like I said, we do have a dining reservation, which is at Sci-Fi Dine-In. So, Dad, tell us a little bit about why you like this restaurant so much. How many times do you think we've eaten here, and any kind of memories associated with it?
A lot of good memories. It's one of my favorite restaurants, and a lot of people will say, "Well, the food's not all that great." Newsflash: I'm not a foodie.
Yeah.
Uh, I do like the vibe of it. I like the 1950s feeling. You're sitting in these like kind of like a '57 Chevy. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I think that's what the other they're convertibles, right? Um,
Yeah.
just the theming, the whole idea. I think it was just so creative. Like maybe they have other things like this somewhere in the United States, but it's probably a copy of what they did here. It would be my guess because it's really innovative. It's cool. Um, I do have the film loop probably memorized
Yeah.
because that doesn't change. I wish they kind of would change it now after all these years. It makes some adjustments with that. But that hey, I don't know why they don't change it, but um,
Yeah.
it's time for a change there. I think we've probably gone there. Um, when you were younger, I'm thinking that probably 4 times, maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
And
That
I'm
sounds about
I'm
right.
I'm guessing, but and then over the years, I'd say we a total probably 8 times total. I've probably been there over the years. Now this is a kind of a like a 25-year stint. It's not like we run in there all the time. And I don't really go to Disney as much as I used to, of course. So now when I go, it's extremely special to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, so and memories. I think my strangest memory was the first time we went. Regan was very little. He's probably 6 months old. You
Yeah.
were 3, I guess, right?
Yep.
And it's the first time we went in there. That's probably the first time we went to Hollywood Studios. And I always thought, I want to see this restaurant. We went in. I thought I was blown away. I thought this is so cool because I'm a real nostalgia memorabilia guy. But they seated us. It was so full. We got seated at the back picnic tables.
Oh, wonk wonk.
We didn't even get in the car. I'm like, oh man, because like a lot of the Disney restaurants that sit down and you get waited on, they ain't cheap. So to get
Yeah.
stuck on a picnic table with a fake umbrella over you,
Yeah.
um, and we're right
Inside
by
of
the
the dark.
kitchen. People are coming back and forth, out of the kitchen. They're all right there. It wasn't the best experience for that, but then every other time we've always had a car somewhere. Service has always been amazing. Uh, I like the food. I'm not a foodie, but I like the burgers. I love their fries. I love their chocolate shakes that are so thick. It's almost like a Wendy's Frosty. I think I'd used a
Yeah.
spoon to eat mine last time. That was a couple of years ago. We took my other granddaughter, Michaela, and her friend. So yeah, I really love that restaurant. Liberty Tree Tavern's the big one over in Magic Kingdom for me. This is the one for me at Hollywood Studios. I love it. When I go there, I always want to eat there, a meal, lunch or dinner or whatever. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. I definitely have fond memories of it as a kid. I'm excited to bring the girls there. They've obviously never been. And I do remember when we were little, it was funny. The ABC commissary is connected. I think the kitchens are connected as well. And so when we were kids, we used to eat at ABC commissary fairly often because it was like a popular place to eat back then. And we would go to the bathroom, and the bathrooms are shared with the sci-fi as well. And I remember once we figured out they were connected, we used to think it was like so fun and sneaky to like sneak over and look in and peek in at what they were doing and what part of the movie reel it was on. And this is two kids who spent a lot of time in the park, so we knew all these little things or whatever. But we thought that was so cool, and getting to sneak in and watch part of the little movie reel we'd seen, 4 times. But yeah, that is like one of my favorite memories, and definitely getting a shake. And we did eat there with Maddie the last time we went to Hollywood Studios with you guys. And that's, I think, the only time he's ever eaten there. So it'll be fun to go back for sure. It's a good place to go. Cool. And then we're obviously going to be ending the night at the best at Fantasmic. I'm so looking forward to that. And my girls absolutely love Fantasmic. They did see it last year at Disneyland, but if you've ever seen both, you know that Disney World's is far superior, in my opinion. I think no question, the stadium, the ending, the whole shebang is awesome. And Disneyland has some elements that are cool too, but it's just such a great show. And obviously, the nostalgia factor for me seeing this show and getting to go with you is awesome. I was watching somebody else's YouTube vlog today at lunch when I was making up this itinerary, and they were going and they were watching it and whatever. And I was just already getting like emotional thinking about it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just can't wait to be there and see this show. It's going to be so special. I'll probably be crying the whole time. So just a heads up. It's
I'll
so
bring the
good.
Kleenex.
Yes, bring the tissues, but it was so cute. I will never forget Eileen's first time seeing it. She was about Blake's age, so about 3-ish. And we get to the end, and Mickey, does his thing and says, some imagination, huh? And poof, he's gone. And everybody starts leaving, and she's like, oh my gosh, Mickey saved the day. And it was just the cutest thing. And I was like, okay, well, if I didn't already love this show, that would have sold me right there, because she just was so into it.
That's
So
awesome.
it is so fun. So the next day, so this night is when you're staying over at the hotel in Disney Springs. We'll head back to Art of Animation. The next day is Saturday, March 7th. We will be heading to Epcot, also doing extra magic hours there as well. We do plan to rope drop Remy's, of course, because you come off on the International Gateway side on the Skyliner, so that's what makes the most sense. And likely head to Frozen like everybody else kind of does. We do want to do Guardians. I did get a single pass for that. Test Track, I have not done the change since it's been reopened, so I definitely would love to hop on that, even if it's a single rider. But Eiley has not done that, so we might end up obviously not doing single rider with her, getting on it. Hopefully we can get a lightning lane for it later in the day. Figment is a favorite of mine, to much people's dismay. And Soarin obviously is a favorite as well. I do enjoy living with the land, and usually we rider swap for Soarin. But if Blake is tall enough, I mean, that would be great. It's 40 inches. So again, she's very close. So we'll see. I think she would absolutely be blown away by Soarin. And then obviously Spaceship Earth. We do want to meet a couple of characters. The girls will be wearing an Asha dress, which is a character from Wish. And so that is the only place you can meet her. So we hope to meet her. We also have not ever met Snow White or Mulan. So those are high for our framed signatures. And my sister-in-law is coming this day. My brother, unfortunately, was thinking he was maybe going to be able to join us for the day with dad and or this day, and he can't come for either because his new store is going to be opening up that he's working at in Lakeland, and so he's not going to be able to join us. But I was sad about that, but understandable. But his wife is going to try to come to Epcot for a little bit with the baby, kind of depending on how baby's doing, which would be neat to get to see them, since I haven't seen them since Thanksgiving. And my mom will also be here this day. So they'll be able to help us kind of swap kids out. The one request that my sister-in-law had was that she wants to ride Guardians with Eiley. So she really wants to sit next to her and do that with her. So we'll definitely make sure that that happens. My mom does not like roller coasters at all. So we sometimes get to go twice if we buy her a Lightning Lane single pass or whatnot. And we could buy one under Blake to get to ride it two different times, maybe. So we'll see. But Dad, while we are rope dropping Epcot, you have a breakfast reservation. So tell us where you are going this morning.
We have booked a breakfast at the Kona Cafe at the Polynesian. I guess it's called the Polynesian Village now, right? Village Resort
I
or something
think
like that.
so.
We
Yeah.
kind of
Now
gone
that they
back
opened
to,
that new tower.
yeah. So we're going to go there. We've been there probably 10 times over the years. It's our favorite place
Okay.
for breakfast. The only other place I used to love breakfast more was at Fort Wilderness. They used to have a breakfast buffet there that was unbelievable. Then COVID comes along, destroys all the good eating spots. I don't know what happened, but
Ah.
they don't have that there anymore. And that's something that I've taken your brother to and Steph and Hope when they came to visit us there a number of years ago when we were at the campground. Going off on a tangent there a little bit, but I do love the Kona Cafe at the Poly. It's on the second floor. Uh, it's again, it's a cafe that's been there, I think, ever since its inception. But we love it. I always get a great omelet there. My wife gets fantastic coffee. That's the name, Kona Cafe, right? It's the Kona blend coffee, and it's a non-character dining thing where without kids, I'm not going to have Pluto coming up and harassing me and
Yeah.
Mickey giving me grief. So that's all great with kids, but not for us adults. We're
Well, so
good.
it's funny. I literally don't know much about the Polynesian. I've walked through it, but I've never stayed there. And I did not realize that this existed. It's so funny. And then I've heard a few people talk about it, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't know." I always think of Ohana, which is the character dining place. Have you eaten at Ohana's before?
No, we've never eaten at any other place other than Konix. A lot of times we'll go grab some breakfast there and then we'll just climb in the car and head home. This is back in the
Okay.
day. We've already gone maybe to the Magic Kingdom the day before or something like that. But
Yeah.
we always, yeah, it just worked well for us. We never have done Ohana. Yeah, that would be a real win for us with the characters and everything. That's not really our bag. So yeah,
Okay, cool. Yeah, I've heard Ohana dinner is no characters, but it's still like all you can eat. And then yeah, the breakfast is Lilo and Stitch at breakfast. So, but yeah, I've heard awesome things about Kona Cafe and especially the coffee. I don't drink coffee, but I know people that do really love it. So, yeah, that's fun to hear that y'all are going to do that this morning. So for the rest of our day two, we plan to go back and do some pool time and head back a little early. We don't think we're going to go back and see the fireworks this day because there is a very big basketball game on, and that is the Duke UNC game. And it starts at 6:30 that night. It won't be over till about 8:30. So I think we're probably going to head out around 6 o'clock, get on the Skyliner. We might not be back right for the start of the game, but probably Maddie and I will kind of watch the game while the kids are in the pool, or I'll be in the pool kind of with the game on in the background on the iPad or whatever if the weather's good for swimming. And there is a movie on the lawn at the resort that night. They kind of rotate through the movies and it changes in March. So it's not quite March. So I don't know what movie it will be yet, but I think the kids would be so into that. And it's not till 8 o'clock. That's like their bedtime, but we're on vacation. So I feel like if they're up to it, that would be a really fun thing to do. And Maddie and I can kind of keep an eye on the game while they're watching a movie and stuff like that. So that would be really fun. So that's kind of what our plan is for this night. We're not going to stay to park close. The Epcot fireworks show is good, but it's not my favorite. So I don't feel that need to have to stay till the end like I would if it was Fantasmic. If we were going to Fantasmic this night, the Duke UNC game would have to wait, if we're being honest. Because it's not, I really want to watch the games, and so does Maddie. So we'll try to get back in time to do that for a little bit. My snacks at Epcot, of course, I want to get a frozen margarita. That's my absolute favorite thing in the park. I do want to try a few things at the Kringla Bakery. There's a cinnamon roll that looks awesome. I know you've had that before there, Dad, right?
Oh yeah, I've had that a number of times. That's one of my go-tos at Epcot.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I want to try it. And then there's also this triple chocolate cookie that looks amazing. There are pretzel nuggets with beer cheese over in the American Pavilion at Block and Hans that look great. And over in China, there's two different things. There's pork egg rolls and chicken pot stickers that Maddie and I both would like to try. There's a gingerbread sandwich cookie in Germany. And of course, as soon as I make this list, I'm like, that's enough stuff for 10 people. They come out with this flower and garden festival limited time menu options. And I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to add to the list and we'll see. Again, I won't be eating all these things, but what we get done. And that includes there's a special French toast. There's a cherry Coke float thing that sounds so good. And there's a special kind of beignet at one of them. There's this lavender frozen drink that's non-alcoholic. It's just like almost like a slushy that is bright purple, and I think the kids would think it's super cool. And over in Canada, they have this like beef, it looks like pot roast with mashed potatoes and carrots. So I was like, okay, that might be our dinner before we head out of the park that night. So we'll kind of see what that is like. But I love Flower and Garden Festival. I love going around and looking at all the topiaries. It's so beautiful. And Dad, remind me, what's your favorite Epcot festival?
It's clearly been the International Flower and Garden Festival over the
Yeah.
years. Because I do love, I'm not like a gardening guy, but I do love what Disney does with their landscaping. I really enjoy the topiaries. I mean, there's so many things to look at. It's amazing, and I love the music offerings they have at at the
Yes.
at the theater right across from American Adventure.
Yep.
Um, we've seen so many musical acts there. Between that and the fall, the Food and Wine Festival, my wife and I over the years, and with you kids when you were younger, we saw Davy Jones for the Monkees, and just a bunch. A lot of them were a lot of 1960s, 1970s bands or singers from different groups over the years, but we've seen a lot of really good talent there, and I've really enjoyed that. So yeah, that's always been my favorite festival at Epcot.
And it used to be called Flower Power or something, right? Like the concert
The
series?
the music part of it, I believe, is still called Flower Power because back in
Okay.
the 60s, it was the flower power thing and it was all the hippies and all that stuff, right?
Okay.
Uh, yeah, so that was kind of that's how they coined that. And of course, as time has gone along, sadly, those people aren't around anymore.
Yeah.
Like Davy Jones passed away, 15 years ago now, and a lot of these people aren't around to come and sing for us. So I don't know if they still call it Flower Power. I don't know. I didn't do that research before the podcast, but yeah, that's the music end of it, and it's always good. And there's always like every 3 days they have a different group or a different singer up there, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun. So I'm looking it up right now. It looks like now it is called the Garden Rocks Concert Series, which
Okay.
is that's not as cool of a name as Flower Power. But while we are there, it's going to be the music of ABBA. Unfortunately, we are missing Simple Plan, one of our favorite bands of all time, by one day. They are coming the next day, which is such a bummer, but we actually just bought tickets to see them here in Raleigh in August. So, and that those tickets were probably much cheaper than an extra day at Disney, if we're being honest. So, I am bummed that we won't get to see them, but the kids wouldn't want to do that anyway. So it kind of worked out okay. But yeah, they've had some great music over the years. I mean, I know, I can't remember if it was in the fall that they had like the remaining Beach Boys and John Stamos like came on stage because he's a huge Beach Boys guy. I'm actually listening to his audiobook right now as one of the books I'm reading. But yeah, so they've had really good bands. Some other big names that they have: Sugar Ray, Rick Springfield, Air Supply is also coming. Flock of Seagulls, Plain White Tees, 98 Degrees, which is hilarious to me. Maverick City Music, which is pretty cool. They're a Christian band, I think. And then yeah, they kind of round it out. So there's a lot of other bands too, but they do get some pretty good names. So if you're there, it's definitely worth checking out. And if you really want to see the group, worth doing a dining plan where you get like reserved seats so you don't have to stand there all day. But we will be skipping that this time. So the next day is our last day, and we are doing something we've never done before, which is going to a park on the day we're flying home. But our flight is not till 9:30 at night. So we decided to do Animal Kingdom this day. This was the park that Eiley picked for specifically for her birthday when she asked to go to Disney. She keeps asking you to go to Animal Kingdom, and Maddie was like, why? There's literally right now is the worst time to go because all of Dinoland is closed. There's so much construction going on, but she does not remember it at all. She's only ever been there one time back in 2021 when everything was pretty much shut down as far as shows and the experiences were just like not the same. And so she really wanted to go. So it actually worked out. Some people might think we're absolutely crazy for skipping Magic Kingdom on a 3 park day trip, but this is our checkout day, so we wouldn't have been able to stay all day anyway. And there was a deal with Disney Plus where they had discounted tickets if you did Epcot, Animal Kingdom, and Hollywood Studios single park day tickets. So it was a very good deal. And so we decided to go ahead and do that. As out of state people, we do not often get deals on our tickets. So this, was a good way to sneak that in there. But we will be going to Animal Kingdom. We are probably not going to rope drop, and that is because this day is also the time change. So unfortunately for us, we are springing ahead, which means we're losing an hour, which actually usually works out better with the kids. It kind of adjusts them back to sleeping in a little bit longer. And so we're planning to leave the hotel that day around 7 instead of getting up at 6 and whatever, like trying to rush to the bus because Animal Kingdom opens the earliest. They open at 8 and the extra magic hours are at 7:30. But we didn't want to have to rush and get to the bus, drop our stuff at the lobby because we're going to have them hold our bags while we go to the parks. So we're going to just kind of take our time. Maddie's sister, her husband, they're staying at Port Orleans that night. So they're going to kind of take their time when their baby gets up, head over to the parks. And then Maddie's parents are driving from Bradenton as well this day, just over for the day and back. They don't want to have to leave at the crack of dawn either. So we'll head over there. We hope to do, obviously, the safari at least once because that's my favorite attraction there. Eiley is tall enough for Everest. She really wants to do it. So we're going to let her try that. We'll see what she thinks. She might love it. She surprises me. I mean, she likes Tower of Terror. She really liked Guardians. So we'll see. But we are going to have to like pack our bags the night before and again, drop them off before we head into the parks. So Safari usually opens a little bit later than early entry. So hopefully we'll get there kind of as it's opening and, things like that. We are not going to do multi-pass this day, mostly because there's not that much at the parks. And even if we had to wait an hour for every single thing, we still could do almost everything. So it's just kind of like we don't feel like paying the extra money. But we did pay for a Lightning Lane single pass for Flight of Passage because the option is pretty much rope drop it or pay for the single pass. And if you don't rope drop it, it's going to be over an hour wait. And Blake can't go on it. Eiley's never been on this before either. So we did buy a single pass for her, Maddie, and myself to go and do that kind of in the middle of the day when the younger ones are most likely going to be napping, hopefully, in their stroller or just kind of hanging out, having some chill time. So we're going to just take the little bit more of sleep and go in a little bit later. We also want to do the Better Zoogether Zootopia show that's now in the Tree of Life. We would love to meet Mickey and Minnie in their cute little safari outfits, as well as Nick and Bunny Judy, as Blake calls her, Judy Hopps. Blake is absolutely obsessed with Zootopia right now, so this is great timing. She keeps saying all she wants is a Zootopia Bunny Judy stuffy, so we're going to have to find her one over there. And Blake also has been very into The Lion King, much to my pleasure. So we watched that this past weekend again for like the second weekend in a row. and she loves it right now. So I'm really excited to take her to the Lion King show. Eiley has also, again, never seen this because it wasn't open when we went last time. And it's been a long, long time since Maddie has seen it. So really excited to see that again. Looking forward to all those things. We do have a reservation this day at Yak and Yeti, which is a sit-down restaurant. They do also have a quick service window. But remind me, Dad, have you eaten here before?
We did once. I think it was back like in 2010, so quite a while ago. Uh, I ended up taking my mother-in-law, Gloria, Grandma Gloria, with us to the Animal Kingdom. We actually took her to the Disney parks on and off a little bit during that time, and they liked the food a lot. They're real foodies, so they really liked it. I don't even remember what the menu was like, but I don't think I was too excited about it, if I remember right.
It's Asian, so that doesn't surprise me.
There you go. If that's the case, then
You
that's
probably got
probably
rice.
rice and chicken. I'm good,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm one of those weird guys that's I eat to live, not live to eat. So
Yeah.
yeah. So, but I thought the interior, if I remember right, I wasn't real excited about just the interior of it. It just seemed kind of bland to me. But yeah, again, my foodie wife and mother-in-law thought the food was good, and I kind of struck out.
Okay, yeah, it is definitely it's a huge menu, but it is all Asian food. We really like Asian food. I can't have fish, which is oftentimes in a lot of Asian food, but they do have a lot of chicken dishes. They have this like green bean appetizer thing, which seems similar to something that we get at our local restaurant at home. So we're excited about that. There are, of course, snacks that I want to try here. So again, for lunch, I don't plan to kind of sit down and eat lunch with everybody. I want to try to get some of these snacks done over in the Pandora area where Avatar is. We are going to try to do they have a giant pretzel over there that's supposed to be really good and a drink that is non-alcoholic called the Night Blossom. That looks delicious and I've heard great things about it, especially from my friend Virginia at Where I Long to Be podcast. She is like raved about it. As well as there's a Yeti ice cream cone at the Anandapur ice cream truck. There is a Simba slushie that has like gummy worms on it that Eiley has had her eye on. And there also is a new cookie dough brownie ice cream sandwich. I'm like, oh my gosh, say that again. You don't need to say that again. I want it. So at Terra Treats. So those are kind of the treats that I have my eye on. Again, not saying we're getting them all, but they do sound delicious. We are very excited about Indiana Jones coming to this park. I think that will bring so much to that corner, so much life that is much needed over there. I'm very curious how that whole Tropical America section will work out and when it will open. But going to Disneyland a couple weeks ago and going on that attraction a couple of times, it just got us so excited for what's to come to that corner of the park. And I know, Dad, since you've not been back to Disneyland since that's open, I can't wait for you to see what they do and at Animal Kingdom and get back on that attraction because that'll be really cool. But I know you've seen a lot of video footage of the one at Disneyland, right?
Oh yeah, I've seen a lot of Justin Scard, Random Land, my Random Land guy. I watch all
Oh
the time.
yeah.
He's over there all the time. And the only thing that concerns me about the Indiana Jones attraction coming, I wonder if they're going to phase out Indiana Jones at Hollywood Studios. Then that's a good way of them just kind of letting that go away, right? It's been there forever. It's
Yeah.
expensive. You have all those actors and all, there's a lot going on there, and it's a very costly show to run, I'm sure. I have a
Mm-hmm.
funny feeling. I mean, maybe I'm dead wrong, but maybe that might phase out after this other Indiana Jones comes to Animal Kingdom. But we'll see.
Yeah, we will see. I know. I hope not. My only hope that it might not is that they still have some things that are separated in the parks. Like Buzz Lightyear got the refurb and isn't changing like people thought it might in Magic Kingdom, while they have this whole Toy Story Land in Hollywood Studios. And so there are some things that are in both parks, but I hope not, only because I love Indiana Jones. But it did just make me think when that accident happened a couple of months ago with the cast member in the boulder, and now they've kind of modified the show a little bit. I've heard, I don't think that it's back to Boulder being in use yet. I don't know what they're doing instead, but I've heard that it is modified. So that makes me wonder, between that and this opening, will they eventually give that show the axe? Which I know some people are like, all right, it's tired, change it. But I love it. I still, which is not surprising to anybody here. I still love it. I still enjoy it every time we go. but I do know it's a huge footprint because of all the props and things involved and expensive, like you said, too. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do in the coming years, but they don't anticipate Indiana Jones to be open until sometime, most likely 2027. My guess is the end of 2027, but we'll see. That's only a short year from now. It seems like a long time away, but it'll be here before we know it. And I don't think Tropical Americas will be complete at that time. I think they'll kind of open things in phases to get some of the pressure and popularity off other areas of the parks, but we will see. So that is our plan for our awesome Disney World vacation. I cannot wait to bring the kids on this trip. They've been asking every single day since we left Disneyland last summer, and the time is finally here. After the trip recaps, we will be having a trip transparency episode where I share kind of what we spent on this trip, how we save money for Disney, and hopefully that will be helpful for you guys as well with some different tips and tricks and things that we do to make it a little bit more affordable. Obviously, it is a very expensive place, but there are ways to kind of help not make the cost so difficult. But for now, we will see you real soon, Disney.
See you next week.
Hey, thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to give us a follow on Instagram at Soarin' Around WDW Pod, where we share fun reels, throwback photos, and dive into weekly polls and debates. If you're listening on Spotify, be sure to follow and hit that 5-star button. If you are over on YouTube, subscribe and leave us a comment as well. If you're listening on Apple, a 5-star rating and a written review would mean the world. You can also now support the show through our Patreon at patreon.com/Soarin'AroundWDW podcast by becoming a free or paid member and finding exclusive content and bonus episodes and videos there too. Thanks again for joining us. Catch you on the next flight.